y'all, it's West Virginia History with Mrs. B, and today we're going to talk about a town up the river from where I am right now, and that is Parkersburg, West Virginia, which is in Wood County right along the Ohio River. And it's actually where the Little Kanawha River dumps into the Ohio River. Parkersburg is going to grow as a town, not only because of its strategic location on the Ohio River and as the terminus of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, but it also is going to grow because of this region and its natural gas and oil industry. And so there's going to be a lot of concentrated wealth in Parkersburg, West Virginia after the Civil War. And speaking of that wealth, the largest historic district in the state of West Virginia is the Julia Ann Historic District, and it is also the oldest historic district in the state of West Virginia. And so if you want to see what it was like to be a big oil baron 150 years ago, that Julia Ann is where you need to go. Parkersburg is full of, new restaurants as well as old restaurants. Two I highly recommend include Sham's Lebanese cuisine as well as Philippines Best. But also the oldest restaurant that's been open, for well over 100 years, the North End Tavern, is located in Parkersburg as well. And if you want to go enjoy, historic theater and enjoy a great show, you definitely need to visit the Smoot. And it's where the Actors Guild of Parkersburg puts on all of their performances. And they do performances quite frequently throughout the year. So stay tuned. Camden's going to tell you more about the city of Parkersburg and why we love to visit it on a frequent basis.
Hi, my name is Camden Stats, and a part of a project for Mrs. Barnett is to create a road trip that families can go on and just have a great time while traveling throughout counties and throughout places that are prominent in West Virginia. So first off, what place I got was in Wood County. It's Parkersburg. Parkersburg is a really big city on the western side of West Virginia. It is very populated, has a bunch of entertaining stuff to do, so that's why I really highly recommend this. And I'm going to tell you some great places that you can go and stay, eat, do, see, just a bunch of great recommendations. So for places to stay, I've got 3 really great options for families of all sizes. There's the Blennerhassett Hotel. This has a lot of history. The name is really prominent throughout this area. And it is about $130 to $140 a night. It's kind of on the expensive end, but it is really worth it. Highly recommended by all of the locals. And just so many people enjoy their visit. There's very little bad reviews. Everything's just really highly recommended. Next is, these are more of like cabin-like places. So North Bend Park has these separate cabins that they do offer to pay for each night, and they're usually around $125 to $150. This price range is the same as also another place I have offered for you to stay, which is Mount Wood Park Cabins. It is the same price range from like $125 to $150 a night. They're beautiful cabins right in the park that families can go and stay at. Highly recommended yet again, and just really a great opportunity to spend time with your family on this road trip. Next, I have like places to eat. So for breakfast, I have 3 great options. The first one being the JR's Donut Castle. This is a really great donut shop, has different coffees, different pastries that they have to offer, usually about $5 per person. Really does not go over $20 unless you're really getting a lot there. Next is Crystal Cafe, also yet really affordable, usually under $10 per person, has a bunch of different pastries, coffees, pretty much your basic cafe stuff, really highly reviewed, loved by many. A bunch of people go there to do their schoolwork, that sort of thing. It's just a really great place to be around, beautiful scenery. Next is the Blennerhassett. Like I talked to you about the hotel earlier, there's a cafe that they have. It's called the Cafe Blennerhassett. Usually $20 to $30 per meal and per person. It has great foods, great reviews, really beautiful, and just holds a lot of history within all of its walls. Next, I have lunch, and I've got Der Doghaus, which is it is like a hot dog place. It's from $10 to $20, really great option. If you're not really into the hot dogs, there's more of like Ruby's Pizza and Grill, which is a local place to eat. It's usually from $10 to $20 per person. Has a bunch of different options for all kinds of food palettes. And then next is the Root Beer Shack, which is usually $1 to $10. This is yet again something that's local, family owned, really loved by all the people throughout Parkersburg. Then for dinner options, I've got 3 different ones. I've got Mary B's Diner, which is usually from $10 to $20. Is loved by many. People really enjoy their food and their services, and it's usually really affordable for families. Next is Cham's, which is usually $20 to $30. Really highly recommended. Great options. And the next, yet again, the Blennerhassett makes its mark, as it has the Blennerhassett Hotel restaurant, which you can purchase food separately without staying in the hotel. This is more on the higher expensive end, but it has really high quality food and a very enjoyable services. These usually go from about $30 to $50 per person. Next up, I have places that you should visit while in Parkersburg, in the area, that sort of thing. I have Fort Borman Park, which does have a bunch of different prices. So if you go for a full day, it's usually $100, $50 for a half day, so forth. Their prices are listed on their website if you're interested in going to see that. Pretty affordable for everything that it has to offer. Really highly recommended. You can spend a whole day there and still have tons of fun. And just have a great time. Next is the Oil and Gas Museum. This has stuff for people of all ages. For adults, it's $10. For kids 7 to 16, it's $5. And kids who are 6 and under is free. Next is the Mulberry Lane Country Store. It just has a lot of historical figures and items in there that you should go and look at if you're really into history, if that's your sort of thing. Parkersburg holds a lot of history for West Virginia, and so it's a really great place to go look at. Next is the Smoot Theater. It has a bunch of different shows that it hosts, events, everything like that. Their tickets are really affordable. If you want to go, it has stuff like all day long. So if you go and watch 5 of their shows, you can get 5 of their movie theaters for their $190 bundle. They've got a bunch of different options if you go look up their website, if that's something that you're interested in. They do have a bunch of like different options and single movie theater tickets, that sort of thing. It just depends on what movie, popularity for its funds, and how much it costs. Next is the Blennerhassett Island. It has a bunch of different stuff to offer. They have this bundle pack, which is a great option that most families choose. It's the most popular. It's $31. You get to go on their boat. You get to see the mansion, the wagon ride, the museum, all of that. Usually a lot of schools like to go to this place for some of their field trips. Really highly recommended. Kids love it. There's a bunch of different things to see and do. It's for people of all ages, just so you get to go see what history the Blennerhassett has. Next is the B&O Harmon Bridge, which is completely free to see. Has a bunch of stuff with it. Very popular. Has a bunch of history throughout the whole entirety of West Virginia, and it's something that's highly recommended to everyone. Next is the Discovery Center up in Parkersburg. For adults, it's $9, and for like kids under 2 is free. Kids, depending on their age, is how much they cost. Has a bunch of great options for kids who are really interested in just like discovering new things, getting to learn a bunch about like West Virginia, about the wilderness, all that sort of thing. It has a bunch of different options. Next, they have the North Bend State Park. If you're really into nature, that sort of thing, going on hikes, they've got over 13 trails and hikes to go on. It's completely free. They have like different bike paths, there's different hiking paths, they have a bunch of different options to go and see, and it's just a lot of fun to hang out with anyone who really enjoys the outdoors. In addition, they have a bunch of different like bowling alleys, roller skating rinks, that sort of thing. For example, they have Emerson Lanes there, which is a really great bowling alley that is very popular for places or for people like all around go to Emerson Lanes just to play. It's $5.25 per person, like per game, and it's just a lot of fun. Parkersburg has a lot to see and do there, a bunch of things to visit. If you're interested there, these are a bunch of great options that you can look into further. Regarding festivals, there's a lot of things to do. There is the Mid-Ohio Valley Multicultural Festival, which is free to the public. It happens on June 21st and 23rd, or through 23rd. It has a bunch of great options for all sorts of families, really highly recommended. There is just a bunch of stuff going on there. There's a bunch of different things to see and do, can take up your whole day, something that everybody can enjoy. Next, we have the Freedom Festival, which is completely free to the public. It's on the 28th and 29th of June. They have separate fees and purchases you do have to make if you're buying different objects and items from stands and vendors there. But other than that, it's free to the public and great option. Next, they have the WV Honey Festival, which is on August 24th and 25th. It has a $5 daily admission fee. It's a great option. They have a bunch of different things that you should definitely go and see there, purchase, stuff that you can only find at some of these festivals. Very fun and affordable, especially if you're into sort of almost like an agriculture sense. Just really highly recommended. Next is the 249th Army Band of West Virginia. It happens on May 30th, completely free of charge. You get to go watch and get a piece of history from these Army veterans who served in the 249th section, get to watch their band, and it's just a really great option to get to listen to music, get to just really get to pay tribute to some of these veterans who are inside of the Army Band.
Thanks, y'all, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to West Virginia History with Mrs. B on both Facebook and YouTube.